The girlfriend's last call. Rahul was an ordinary college student, living a simple life. However, for the past few days, his girlfriend, Neha, had been acting strangely. She had become distant, quiet, and seemed lost in her own thoughts. No matter how hard Rahul tried to talk to her, Neha always avoided him. One night, Rahul received a call from Neha. Her voice was trembling with fear. She begged him to meet her immediately at an old, abandoned mansion on the outskirts of town. The urgency in her voice left Rahul no choice but to rush there. When he arrived, the mansion was everything you'd expect in a horror story: dark, airy, and surrounded by an unnatural silence. Neha stood at the entrance, her face pale and her eyes hollow, as if she hadn't slept for days. "Neha, are you okay? What's going on?" Rahul asked, his voice filled with concern. Without a word, Neha grabbed his hand and led him inside. The air inside the mansion was ice cold, and an unsettling smell filled the space. The walls were covered with faded bloodstains, and burnt pieces of paper littered the floor. Neha locked the door behind them, her movements mechanical and unnatural. "Neha, you're scaring me. What's all this?" Rahul asked nervously. Neha slowly turned to face him. Her eyes glowed a menacing red, and her face twisted into a sinister expression. Her voice deepened, echoing through the empty halls. "You thought you could escape your sins, didn't you?" Rahul froze, his mind racing to make sense of her words. He hadn't done anything to hurt her, or so he thought. Neha's voice grew even more chilling as she said, "I'm not Neha. I am the girl you left to die 3 years ago on that lonely road. You ran away from the accident, leaving me to suffer. I found her, and now, I have come for you." Memories flooded Rahul's mind. 3 years ago, he had hit a girl with his bike late one night. Afraid of the consequences, he had fled the scene. Neha's body began to levitate, and the room filled with agonizing screams. The walls seemed to close in, and shadows danced across the ceiling. As Rahul tried to escape, the door slammed shut on its own. Neha's ghostly figure lunged toward him, her voice echoing, "You can't run from me. You are mine now." The next morning, the police found the mansion empty. Rahul and Neha were nowhere to be found. Locals claim that anyone who steps into the mansion can still hear their screams at night. This spine-chilling story reminds us that our past mistakes have a way of catching up with us, no matter how far we run.